Although your credit score doesn't make or break your future, it has a major impact on your finances. If you want to rent a home, buy a home, get a credit card, and so many other instances, your credit score is important. Well, if your credit score is low, have no fear. A magic wand is going to be waved to help you out. That credit score is about to get a nice boost automatically. You came here for the truth, so let me unveil that for you. Today we're going to talk about credit. It's a very important topic. A lot of people push it off. They don't care about it. They'll ruin their credit. They simply do not care. But many people shouldn't be in this category, and they should be focusing on it and have an interest at least to understand the basics. And then if they decide to go ahead and have a lower credit score for any particular reason, that they are responsible for it. You have to have the knowledge at least, so then it's all on you. So that's what we're going to get into today. I'm going to show you why your credit score is about to get a boost. But first, for those who don't know, the FICO score, what is it exactly? Well, essentially in this paragraph here, they break it down. Although FICO has many different scoring models, it uses relative percentage weights to help determine how much impact certain factors will have in helping determine a FICO credit score. The main categories considered are, person's payment history, that's 35%, amounts owed, 30%, length of credit history, 15%, new credit accounts, 10%, and types of credit used is 10%. So you put all these together and you get your FICO score. Now, when we see these numbers, they could be lower or higher. It depends how much credit you've borrowed. There are so many factors here. It's not just one thing. It's not the fact that you've been paying your bills on time. There's so many other things that go in line with that. Of course, you need to be paying your debt off. That's absolutely essential. You need to also be borrowing money. You can't necessarily not have any credit. That's not good at all. And when you look at the FICO score, you need to know that this isn't the end of the world. If you have a low score, you can improve it. Absolutely. But right now, you're about to get a boost. So I'll get into that more in a second. I just wanted to show you that for those who didn't know. This is the average US FICO score. Looking at this from essentially just after the financial crisis, it dipped down to a level, let's say 686, somewhere around that range. And today it's probably at about 704. So it has definitely improved over these years. And there has been two reasons for that. A lot of people had claimed bankruptcy. There had been a lot of changes in foreclosures, so many factors. And I covered this one, which was very seldom covered in the news, but of course I brought it to you. I wanted to cover it once again. Many tax liens and civil judgments will soon be taken off people's credit reports, the latest move to omit negative information from the powerful financial scorecards. So it was the three major companies here, Equifax and so on. They actually boosted credit scores for millions of US consumers, and they said that this could put some extra risk on these lenders and so on. So that's a whole different issue, but I just wanted to show you the fact that I brought that up. So now I have to bring up one other, but I just want to show you this chart from that if you're not aware the way it worked and what they did. Credit reports will soon ignore many civil judgments and tax liens lodged against consumers, and essentially federal tax liens, estimates of how much each is worth on average, $69,000 on the federal tax lien, state tax liens, civil judgments, and so on. How much this is going to affect people buying here, all that data is in this chart. Now take a look at this. Is brand new information from the Wall Street Journal, if I'm not mistaken. Credit scores for decades have been based mostly on borrowers' payment histories, and that is about to change. All right. So the creator of the FICO score plans to roll out a new scoring system in early 2019 that factors in how consumers manage the cash in their checking, savings, and money market accounts. The Ultra FICO score, it's called, isn't meant to weed out applications. Rather, it's designed to boost the number of approvals. How does that sound? Boost the number of approvals for credit cards, personal loans, and other debt by taking into account a borrower's history of cash transactions, which could indicate how likely they are to repay. As far as I'm concerned, this is going to actually extend the amount of money that people borrow today. You're going to have more people borrowing money today than we've ever seen before. This is just a small part of it, but that will absolutely allow for greater amounts of debt. There's no question about it. I'm not holding anybody, judgment against anybody for whatever they do. If they want to take on debt, if they don't want to take on debt, it has, it's no different to me. I just wanted to show you the facts and what's going to happen. I showed you the last one. I showed you this one. You have to understand how this works, because when we see the expansion of debt, it tends to then precipitate a crisis. And that's not a good thing, because we can see the slowdown that is occurring today within housing markets and everything. So I guess they're trying to get more people to take out money. The issue is what they brought up in the previous article, and that is the amount of money that's being lended out. As it increases, you have a lot of people who end up foreclosing on their properties. They become delinquent on their credit cards. They're not paying their student loans back. You have all of this that adds up, and then that all interconnects the financial system. People oftentimes are unfortunately losing their jobs in certain times when we have recessions, when we have other troubled times. And this is just a small piece. Of course, the FICO score, it's not exactly the biggest news, but it is a piece of the puzzle. So we need to understand it, and you need to always keep in mind what's happening with your own personal debt, with your own finances. You need to be able to manage your own finances. You need to be able to take everything that you have and be able to understand it fully, to be able to have the knowledge about it. You don't want to be ignorant to what a FICO score is, how you can improve it, how you can take the steps, and hopefully not be a victim of what we saw in the previous recession, where so many people lost their homes, so many people were indebted, they had to go claim bankruptcy, and so on. So definitely look into the FICO score and ensure that the amount of money that you're borrowing is something that you can pay back. If you think maybe, just maybe, if this happens or that happens, I won't be able to pay back, then it's probably not a wise idea. So you need to manage this on your own. You definitely have to be responsible for it. I just wanted to show you the facts and what's coming up here. If you appreciated it, just give me a thumbs up. That's what I ask, that you could support the channel by simply giving it a thumbs up. And if you want to join 150,000 subscribers, you can click that subscribe button. We are just about to cross the line into 150,000. So definitely join me on that journey. I talk about everything to do with finances. There's a lot of information on the channel. If you check out my free e-course, I have it. It's on YouTube. It's on my website as well, themoneygps.com. You just click on the free e-course link. There's so much to learn in there. You'll get so much knowledge simply by looking at all those videos. I talk about everything. What is a stock? What is a bond? What is inflation and deflation, and so on. So there's a lot of things to learn for free, absolutely for free on there. So check that out, themoneygps.com. And if you want the financial education that you were not taught in schools, I go in depth in my 2 books. You can check these out at the link in the description. I get into everything, the foundation, the history, the asset classes, and what to actually do with your money. And I broke it down into these 2 books, so you get to learn more of the foundational principles, the asset classes, and so on in the Money GPS. And then I filled in the blanks with all the information I couldn't get to in the Money GPS in my 2nd book. So definitely check that out. Link is in the description. If you want to check out the audiobook version instead, you can get that at themoneygps.com.